Yeah, hey, Blind Guy doing stuff here today, and today we're gonna make a quick video on something I've been reading on, and that's the internment in World War II. And I was been reading a book called "The Train to Crystal City: FDR's Secret Internment Camp and Prisoner Exchange Program." Um, don't know the author right off the top of my head, but you can find it on Amazon. So check this book out, and you can find a lot of information on this topic on the internet and around on the internment camp in World War II that they had in the United States. Well, this was a little different. This was an internment camp in Crystal City, which was 120 miles south of San Antonio, Texas, so kind of way out in the desert. And this internment camp was like 260 acres, big 10-foot barbed wire fence around it, guard towers on all the corners. It was a little different because they would get these people were just swept up. So in this book, for example, there were two people, one a Japanese, one a German, both of them immigrants living in Los Angeles, and the German was living in Ohio. The FBI just shows up to the door, takes them in, and then eventually they find their way through a couple other internment camps to this place called Crystal City. Here, they get a choice. Do you want to repatriate back to Germany or Japan? And you can be reunited with your family, or if you want to stay here in the United States, you're just stay in the regular internment camps, which there was 30 something of those, or more. So these two guys, they chose to go to the internment camp in Crystal City, and once there, their family was reunited with them, and a lot of the people stayed there for 3 or 4 years, and they had neighborhood councils. The place held up to like 4,000 people at one time, and what they would do is they would hold these people and then trade them for German. Well, they would trade them for United States prisoners and prisoners of war and civilians over in Europe and Japan. So they would use the people in Crystal City sort of as a trade, and it was a top secret. The trades were top secret. Nobody knew about them. Crystal City, nobody knew about that. Right before they closed it down, they had they made a propaganda video. You can find that on YouTube, just sort of saying how great this was. But it wasn't great. It was internment. FDR, from the beginning of the war, wanted to intern all Japanese and all Germans and all Italians in the United States, or people they had on these lists. And these lists were made by Hoover, which we know is the FBI director, very crooked person. So it was a bad thing, and FDR went along with it, and they used these crooked lists from Hoover to round up all these people. And once they got them to the camps, you just couldn't leave. And these two people, one of them, what was real fascinating about this is at the end of the war, the Japanese guy especially, but even the German guy, they two of them actually were repatriated that this book followed. And since they didn't get any news in the camp, they actually thought Germany was winning the war and Japan was winning the war, and sort of, by folly went back. And when they got back, they discovered that the countries were actually beaten. But a lot of people did stay. And this is one of those things where people say, "Oh well, we can't do that again." We never want to repeat what FDR did. And it is a blight on FDR's record. He did do a lot of good things for the country, but in my eyes, it sort of, it really tarnished my view of FDR. I don't know if I can, I knew about the internment camps, but when you read about it, you kind of see the detail, and that he was for the internments from the very beginning. You just see that, he took a wrong step, and it was very authoritarian, and it's not okay. And people say today, "Oh well, we just don't want to repeat that. We can't have those things happen again." But I hate to tell you, I hate to break the news to people, but we have internment camps right now in the United States, down around the southern border. All the refugees that are coming up from Central America due to our drug war, due to us overthrowing elected officials in Guatemala and Honduras, due to us perpetuating the drug war here in the United States and in Mexico and throughout Central and South America. We have refugees come here, and they're in internment camps all over the United States. There are very large ones down on the border near in Texas. One of them could be Crystal City. Who knows? Somebody call me on my phone. But you know, these things are going on right now. I mean, they have one right now in Tacoma, the Northwest Detention Center. I call it the Tacoma Guantanamo, and it is right here in Tacoma. They say this area is supposedly one of the most liberal places in the country, but down here on the Tacoma Flats, they have an internment center right here. It's in the 27th legislative district, which you can ask anybody in Washington who are the liberals in the state legislature, and they will point to the 3 Democrats in the 27th LD. Yet there is a federal facility in that legislative district, and these people don't say anything about it, that houses detainees. So, and then we had one on 60 Minutes. They've been well documented. They had one in Pennsylvania where people were going on hunger strikes. I believe they might be having a hunger strike going on down here in the one in Tacoma right now. So, these internment camps, this kind of stuff is still going on. We here in the United States really have a one-track mind, really, what's going on around us, because everybody gets caught up in their own situation. But and I don't really know what we can do about it, besides call your congressman and all these types of things. But what I would say, the best thing you could do is show up and protest. They do have people out there protesting. Solidarity with these folks. The United States is made on immigrants. My family's immigrants. Everybody that's not a Native American in the United States comes from an immigrant family. So that's what keeps our country great. If you get into a scientific aspect of it, it increases the gene pool. It increases the variety, the diversity. So that's what happens when you bring in new people, new ideas, new things. It's like this melting pot. So the country gets better and better. And if you want to think about it, if you have a little small town, think about your little small town America. What makes that town a bad, just a terrible place to live? I'm from a small town, so I can tell you it's just not the greatest place. What makes it that way is because it doesn't have anything new coming in. It's stagnant. No new ideas, no new people, no new anything. So if you think of our country like that, we really don't want to be blocking these people. The internment has to stop. Let's stop interning families that come through our border in the South and start placing them in homes and in our communities, however that may look. So we just wanted to kind of talk about that real quick, the internment of refugees, and this book, The Train to Crystal City, FDR's Secret Internment Camp Program and Prisoner Exchange in World War II. Yeah, I know it's a doozy of a book title, but you can find it on Amazon. And I'm the blind guy doing stuff. Hope you like my video. If you'd like to check out more, you can check them out on YouTube, and check me out on Facebook, and hit like and subscribe. I'd like to get some more subscribers. So if you're watching this, hit subscribe, and have a good day. Blind guy doing stuff.